All right, let me get this out to everyone. So yeah, I will be doing a recap of Game of Thrones season 8, episode 1, which was a really good episode. I mean, that's the thing about Game of Thrones is like every episode is so good. There's so much in it. It's just it gets down to the juicy details, and I like that. So yeah, we find out. Let me just hold on. Let me just send this out. Um, okay. Just give me a quick second here. What do you guys think about the episode? Sound off below. So you find out, well, Jon Snow gets to find out that he is a Targaryen, that he is the heir to the Iron Throne. I loved that, by the way. I like that it was Samwell that told him, because Samwell and him, they have this connection, this friendship, this trust. And so that was really nice to see. And I'll tell you what, Kit Harington, I love his acting ability. I found that he was just so convincing of a real true reaction. Like he knew that it was true, but he was also trying to put something, before that and try to put like a roadblock in the way. Because I think the bewilderment of not understanding that you're the heir to the Iron Throne, like it is your throne and it should be your throne, is definitely different because he's never had this experience before in his life. So I really, really like that a lot. I also really loved the interaction between Tyrion and Sansa. Tyrion is my favorite character, for those of you that don't know. That was a great interaction. And I love that now Tyrion has that. He understands how smart Sansa is, and he's always known that. And that's one thing that I really liked about this episode is that little interaction that they had. Sansa understanding, hey, you're not as smart as I thought you were. Now I think Tyrion is smart. I think he's a genius, but she is right about him believing in Cersei, that Cersei would actually help out Daenerys. That's never going to happen. Cersei is just all about herself, and you totally saw that in the episode. She's so spiteful, and she ends up hooking up with Euron Greyjoy, which whatever. I mean, at this point, I hate Cersei so much. I hate Euron too. He's one of those characters that, to me, he's a brute, and I think he's going to die because of how stupid he is. I think he's also very selfish, and I feel like a lot of people who kind of put themselves on this high pedestal that, oh, look at me, like, I'm going to be the king, and I want this and that, and I don't care about the dead. I don't care that they walk. I don't care that they're alive. Yeah, I think that's really we're really gonna see that kind of take more shape into the as we go later on into the season. So I'm really looking forward to where this episode or where this season goes next. I also really liked Jaime Lannister heading to Winterfell. That was a really nice surprise. And the first person he sees was Brandon Stark. What an awesome, like smart idea by Benioff and Weiss. Because the thing is Brandon Stark, he's got to feel somewhat this type of hatred for this man who pushed him off a ledge and made him become a cripple, or pushed him off a window. And I love that. That's the first thing Jaime sees as he goes into Winterfell, which I think is kind of foreshadowing what is going to happen, that Jaime's not going to get it easy. They're not just going to be like, oh, you're going to be on our side. Cool. You're the Kingslayer. No, they're going to be pretty pissed off, and they're going to definitely put him on trial. And I think they should. Oh, Soul Hatton. Yeah, man. It was awesome. Awesome episode. And I don't know if you joined just now, but I was saying that's one thing I love about Game of Thrones is like every episode is so good. There's no filler. And that's why I don't like a lot of TV shows, is because there's so much filler, but this actually feels like a flushed out narrative story. And it's like a movie. Like it's so good. I'm really sad that we only have 5 episodes left, but I'm just really excited to see what is going to happen next. I liked seeing the aftermath of the wall, what that did, kind of how it really destroyed the faith that the North had and that a lot of people had within the Wall. Now, Jon doesn't really know about the Wall, but you have the wildlings there. They understand what they saw. So I like that a lot. And I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing what's going to happen with the dead. We didn't get to see them in this episode. They're just carrying on their journey, but I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing what happens with the Night King. I think there's a few major players in this episode. I think Jon now is going to, I feel like he's going to be, I don't know. It's hard because I feel like Jon is the type of person who doesn't want to be the king, but knowing that he is the heir to the king and because of the type of person he is, he might be telling Daenerys, hey, look, we need to fortify ourselves, but also I need to tell you about this thing. Like, you're my aunt and I had sex with you. And it's going to be a little awkward, I think, but the one thing that has kind of resonated with me about like their relationship is even if like when she finds out that, Jon is her nephew, the one thing that stands true is what Cersei Lannister said in the beginning of the show, that the Targaryens for generations have made their bloodlines pure, by having relations with one another. And so we'll see what happens with that. I doubt, and I don't know. I have no idea. And that's what I love about this show. What do you guys think? Chime in. What do you guys think that's going to happen? What was the message Night King left on the wall with the body parts? So I think it was, so if you remember, like in the show, great question, Soul Hatton. If you remember, like earlier on in the show, you would see like dead bodies, or you'd see like rocks, and they were put in a certain spiral motion. And it was kind of a symbolism of like the dead are coming. And so I think maybe what that symbolized was the fact that the dead truly are coming, and they're coming for everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your social status is. It doesn't matter if you're sitting on the Iron Throne, they're coming. And so I think that's ultimately what the message was, is it's like, look, we're coming and we're going to kill everybody. So I don't know who's going to live. I want Tyrion to live because Tyrion is my favorite character in this entire show. And he should be the person to sit on the Iron Throne at the end. But I don't know, man. I have no idea what's going to happen. For all I know, everyone will die, and the Night King, will sit on the Iron Throne, which would be kind of interesting. I also really liked one of the other scenes that I really liked was I loved the whole dragon riding scene between Daenerys and Jon. I love that because it showed the audience that, hey, remember, he is a Targaryen. Targaryens are the only people who can ride on dragons. Tyrion Targaryen. I don't know. I've heard that theory, but I don't think so. I don't know. I think Daenerys will not be okay with continuing the relationship with Jon Snow, I think. I don't know. I part of me says you might be right, Soul Hatton, but I also think that she needs to get fortification from the North, and the North trusts Jon Snow. I'd like to see how he handles his moving forward. I could see him keeping it from Daenerys. Yeah, he could. I don't think he will, though. Because one thing that we've known from Jon Snow throughout this entire show is he is the most loyal person in the entire show. And I love Tyrion, but he's more like Jon Snow is the most loyal person in the entire show. And he is the type of person that would tell Daenerys something like this. Now, I think he's going to do it out of respect. I think he's like I told you, I don't think he wants the Iron Throne. He doesn't. He's never wanted to be a king. The North placed that on him, and he never said, oh, I accept. He just kind of was like, you know what? I'm going to do it because that's the type of person that I am. I need to, he just wants to protect people. He wants to, to serve people. So yeah, I love your name, by the way, Chewbacca. Love that. That's a really cool name. I love Star Wars. So yeah, guys, this was an episode. Yes, that could be a possibility. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be an interesting conversation, and he does not want to be king. He didn't want to be king of the North, let alone the entire kingdom. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like what makes him, there's a lot of similarities between him and like Robb Stark. And thanks, you're welcome. There's a lot of similarities between him and Robb Stark in the way that they govern people, in the way that they don't ask for, rankings to be placed upon them. But there's a difference. There's a little bit of a difference in like the way that both of them lead. And what I mean by that is like Jon Snow is more of the type of person that he just leads because he wants to do it. Like that's something that he's been born to do his entire life. As opposed to like Robb Stark, which I love Robb Stark, but Robb Stark was always the type of person who was like, oh, now that I'm king, I'm going to declare myself as king and I'm going to lead the people because I'm the king. And I'm not saying I love Robb. Tiger Woods is going to come sit on the Iron Throne. Dude, who knows? Maybe it could happen. I think Robb was more power hungry. I agree a little bit. And I love Robb, but I think that was just one downfall is he underestimated what people could truly do. While Jon doesn't, underestimate anybody. I mean, maybe I guess he's underestimated Cersei, but Cersei's kind of dumb. Night King and Jon Snow, sexy relationship. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. Thank you though. We can only dream. Yeah, I think what we learned from this episode was we learned a lot more about the true characters of Jon Snow, of Samwell Tarly. I love Samwell. Jump scare. I don't know what you're talking about, MP Dagger. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you think Bronn will assassinate Jaime? Ooh, it's hard because I think he has a better relationship with Jaime. I think he's more willing to kill Tyrion. Jaime, that's a tough one. My problem is with Bronn. Like, I love Bronn, but I don't really know where his true loyalty lies. He was always about the money and always about women, and now I don't know whether or not he's truly on Cersei's side. I think he's going to jump ship to whoever is winning. That's what I think. I think once he sees Daenerys and the dragons come into King's Landing, if that happens, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Yeah, he's going to jump ship. I was kind of surprised that Cersei wanted Jaime dead. I'm not. I don't think she truly does. I think, she's a lot of talk. I think it's a lot more of like, oh, this is what I'm going to say. And I'm going to say it because I want people to, be intimidated that I'm not afraid to do anything. But if you could tell, like, I don't know if you noticed, but after Euron Greyjoy left, she kind of like, she lowered her head and started it looks like she started crying a little bit. She started feeling bad. Maybe it was because she slept with him. Maybe it was because she felt like she betrayed Jaime. I don't know. All I know is that this show is awesome. Like it has so many things going for it that I have no idea. Inner one towards the end. I still don't know what you're talking about, MP Dagger. Maybe it's just because I love horror films, so jump scares don't bother me, maybe. When will Brandon learn to fly? Episode 4? Dude, I don't know. I think it's coming, though. I think because he's a three-eyed raven. I don't think he can fly personally. I'm pretty sure he can already fly like the raven. I don't. So I guess I don't really know what your question is. The Umber one. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. The Umber one. Yeah, it didn't frighten me just because I saw it coming. You saw the eyes glaring, the blue eyes glaring. Yeah, it didn't frighten me, but I'm sorry, MP Dagger, that it frightened you, man. I hope that you got a kick out of it, though. Sometimes jump scares are fun. I feel like he's going to switch the sides. Yeah, I completely agree. You think Jon will kill Daenerys to obtain the fire sword, if you know what I'm talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think he will kill Daenerys. I think he loves her. And Sansa proved it. I think Bronn won't kill them both since he has a history. Jaime has to kill Cersei to fulfill the prophecy of Azor Ahai, where he was to kill his sister. Quite possible. I think the one person who I want to see kill Cersei is Tyrion. But that's because I love Tyrion, and he's the one that deserves to. But, I mean, if Jaime kills her, I don't know if she'll even die. Who's to say that she dies? She could be, one thing that I heard from one of my friends, and this could be true, and this would be insane, is what if Cersei ends up on the throne, but everyone dies, every single person, and she's the queen of nothing? That would be a great ending. I would be satisfied with that. I thought she was infuriated with him. She likes her revenge, though. Or I thought she was infatuated with him. She likes her revenge, though. Are you talking about Cersei or Daenerys? Maybe Cersei? Yeah, I think you're talking about Cersei. Yeah, She is. She loves Jamie, but she's so power hungry. I mean, she just loves power. Sutter, I think Jamie will get the flaming sword. Jump scare with Tormund and the little kid was hilarious. Okay, I'm happy that you enjoyed it. Do you think John will tell Daenerys about being Aegon? I do. I think he will. I just think it's part of his nature. It's part of who he is. He's a good person. He's loyal. He's honest. Um, I love Jon Snow. I really do. We've seen him die once, and I know a lot of people love Jon Snow. I love him. But if he dies, I'm not going to be that upset. I'll be more upset if Tyrion dies because I love Tyrion. Um, he's talking about the prophecy of Azor Ahai. Sansa is so, yeah. Sansa is she is bad. The thing about Sansa though is I feel like she might get herself into a little bit of trouble. I feel like she is getting a little power hungry herself, and that could be some trouble. Tyrion better survive the season. Completely agree with you. 100% Chewbacca. He better be the one sitting on the Iron Throne. Or at least be the hand of, Daenerys if she's on the Iron Throne. But he better survive. I will cry if he dies. I think she got disgusted by sleeping with Euron. Yeah. I think it wasn't more like she was disgusted. I think she was just upset with herself that she feels like she betrayed Jamie. And I think that might have been like the last stepping stone of like her kind of taking Jamie out of her life. So we'll just have to wait and see. Okay. Cersei doesn't want Jamie to come back alive. I don't know. Again, because I just watched the end of season 7 today, before this episode, and from what I got out of it, it's too early to tell. I have no idea where her mind is at with Jamie. With Jamie, she's always been somebody different. She's always been softer. She's always been a lot more honest and a lot more open. But I doubt Cersei would want any of the Ironborn in any kind of power. Cersei just wants to do what's best for her. It doesn't to her. It doesn't matter as long as she has power. And the whole thing with Euron, I think she'll use her pregnancy from Jamie and say it was, that could happen. I don't even know if she's pregnant. To be honest, I feel like the whole pregnancy thing is just a ploy to get Jamie to do what she wants. I don't know. I mean, she could be pregnant. She probably is, but I'm probably wrong. But I've always thought that it was kind of like an attack or like a ploy to get Jamie to do what she wants. I have the best theory. You want to hear it? All right, I want to hear it. Sansa and Arya show some hate towards Jon. I think they're kind of against him. I don't think they're against him. I think they don't understand why he brought a foreigner who proclaims she's the queen to the North, and why he decided to, drop the crown that the North gave him. Because Sansa's super power hungry. And Arya, I don't think Arya cares much about who's in power of what. I feel like for her, it's more of just keeping everyone together. And I think she just doesn't want anybody to get in the way of her family. Who do you think will die in the Battle of Winterfell? Dude, Quaze, I have no idea. I have absolutely zero idea at this point. I'm not even going to speculate. I guess I'll say one character. Varys. How about that? I don't know. I have no idea. Who will Euron leave Cersei now since he has slept with her, which was his goal? I don't think so. He wants to be king. He doesn't, sleeping with the queen. Yeah, that was part of his goal, but he wants to be the king, man. It's not just about sex for him. I can see Jon having to choose between his sisters and Dany. I can see that too. And I think he'll choose I don't know, because Dany's more of his family than, Dany's just as much his family. No, more so. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going back and forth. Dany is probably more so his family than his sisters are. That's the scary thing. Let me just shut off my TV. It's just been sitting on HBO forever now. But yeah, I don't know. Dany, you could say that she is more of family, if not the same amount as Sansa and Arya. Now, yes, he hasn't known her quite as much as Sansa and Arya, but I mean, who's to say? And I don't know. I don't know if he'll have to choose. Also, since House Tarly is open, do you think Daenerys or Jon will pardon Sam from the Night's Watch and make him Lord of Highgarden? Yeah, I feel like Danny definitely feels bad what she did. The thing is you could tell that he cared more about his brother dying because his dad was such a scumbag um, to him. He was a little upset, but I think it was more his brother that was kind of the tipping point. Um, and yeah, I mean Sam and John are like they're like siblings. It sounds like Danny wants him to be his Grand Meister or however you say. It. Yeah, yeah. It sounds like that. Um, and he should be. He should. Samwell Tarly. I mean, he saved Jorah's life. And Jorah means a great deal to her. So, um, yeah, the Night King wins at the end. Shows, dude. I don't know. I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying it won't. I'm not saying it will. It would be very interesting. I do think a lot of people are going to die. I could see everyone dying except for Tyrion, hopefully. Um, that's just my wish. If Tyrion dies, I will cry, guys. I'll get on here and I'll have tears running down my face, bawling. But I don't know if anybody's really. I don't know. There's 5 episodes left. People are going to start dying. I'm happy though. This episode was kind of. It was more of an informational episode. I'll say that it was more of an informational episode, which I really liked. Nice kind of ease into the season. To be her, yeah. I get what you're saying, Chewbacca. Now, not sure how Daenerys will react when she sees his dragon come back from dead, and if other 2 dragons will survive towards the end. Well, she knows. Bran told her that her dragon is now with the Night King. That'll be an interesting interaction. I think it'll be more interesting for me to see a fight between the dragons. I think that would be really cool. That makes for some amazing television. Also, did you see the love between Gendry and Arya? Yeah, I did. And if it happens, great. But I don't see it happening, to be honest. Arya she looks so young, and Macy Williams. I think she's a very gorgeous young woman. But she just looks very young, and Gendry's a lot older, but you never know. I mean, it's medieval times, man. Medieval times. Mormont. Let me see who do you think will die in the battle? Oh, you think Mormont. Dude, could happen. The show ends with him on the throne, and then show goes dark, and Bran Stark wakes up as a little boy with his mom by his side, and all this has been a dream, and his mom senses everything. Okay. Dude, that's like the same theory for the ending of Walking Dead. Like it was all a dream in Rick's head. I would hear that all the time. Dude, it could happen. Anything could happen, Madden King. Anything. It will be now, mother. It's all been a dream. Yeah, dude, it could happen. He's a 3-eyed raven. You never know. I'd be honestly though, if that does happen, I'd kind of be pissed off. I don't want to see them do that. I think that's just kind of a cop out and just kind of stupid. A Lannister always pays his debts. For everyone else, there's MasterCard. Yeah. Your thoughts on Bronn's fate? Oh, dude, I don't know. He's in a tough spot. He has to choose between Cersei or Jaime and Tyrion, and I think he has a better relationship with Jaime. Just because Tyrion, it seemed like he was more of Tyrion's servant as opposed to like Jaime. Jaime trusted him and confided in him. Dude, it's tough. He goes against Cersei, man. She'll want him dead. I could see Jorah dying in the Battle of Winterfell. I could see that too. I know some episodes should be an hour and a half. I heard. Yeah, dude. When this episode ended, Chewbacca, like I was just like, man, that's it. Come on, I want more. But it was a great episode. And I'm happy that we have 6 days to kind of talk about it, or 7 days, I guess, to just talk about it and talk about what we think is going to happen. This is my theory. Jaime will kill Cersei to fulfill the prophecy of Azor Ahai. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how to say that word. And get the flaming sword to save the day, and he'll become the 1000th Lord Commander. Could happen. I hope most of them are long. Yeah. I know the last like 3, I think, are like an hour and a half long. I'm pretty sure. I think Grey Worm will die soon. I hope not. I like Grey Worm a lot. I really like the relationship between him and Missandei. And I think Grey Worm, he's a different character because he shows a humanistic, like a humanistic soldier, which is one of the only types of characters we have in this show. Like we've seen a lot of people like soldiers, ooh, sorry guys. Jorah Mormont, he was a soldier and stuff. So like we've seen people like that, but to be somebody like, the Unsullied and to be human, to show like a human quality. I mean, that's, you don't find that a lot. So I hope he doesn't, but I could definitely see him dying. Cause he, especially if anybody gets in the way of Missandei or, to sacrifice himself for, his Unsullied. Tyrion takes their child and goes to Casterly Rock. Sam becomes Lord of Highgarden. Jon makes Gendry a Baratheon. Him and Arya marry. Daenerys is pregnant and dies in birth. Jon becomes king. Dude, if that happens, man, like if that happens, everyone, if that happens, you should thank MP Dagger. Speaking of people dying, how's everyone doing? I'm good. I hope everyone else is doing great. Thank you for joining in on the chat, guys. It's been great. Bronn won't kill either Tyrion or Jaime and will help Jaime kill Cersei. He'll become a lord and get the castle he's always wanted. Bronn won't kill either Tyrion or Jaime and will help Jaime kill Cersei. I don't know. Maybe Bronn won't even see Jaime again. Maybe Bronn dies before then. I don't know what's gonna happen, man. I have no idea. I pray the red women will bring back Ned Stark. I don't think that's gonna happen. He's dead. He's dead. A lot of theories, man, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I was screaming at the TV when it ended, LOL, but I'm watching again when it replays in an hour. Gotcha. Yeah, I have the streaming service, so I could just I don't know. I'll probably watch it again tomorrow. But yeah, it was good. It was really good. I actually might just go back into other seasons too and just kind of check them out. Check out some things. Because that's the one thing about the show is like everything, like even from back in like the first episode, things just kind of connect. They tie together. Which I love that about the show. Madden King 85. I've never seen Walking Dead, but thanks for ruining it for me. Ella. No. Dude, don't worry. That doesn't happen actually in the show. I kind of stopped watching after this season. That doesn't happen in the show. I'm just saying that was a theory that people said a lot. That the ending of the show was going to be like the lead character waking up from a dream. No, I didn't ruin anything for you. Don't worry, Madden King 85. I didn't ruin anything for you. It was just a theory. Quays, we never saw Red Women since she left Winterfell. Yeah, I hope we don't see her anyway. I never liked her character at all. What's her name? Melisandre. I never liked Melisandre. I always felt like she's a witch. And I don't know. I mean, if people like her, I'm happy, like who you want, but I never truly liked her. So true Grey Worm should live. I'm not saying he should live. I'm just saying like he embodies a different type of character that we haven't seen in this world where this, because what he knows, what his DNA is he is just a unsullied warrior. That's all he is. He cannot love. He should have no emotion. He shouldn't feel any pain. And, his weakness, like he said in season 7 with Missandei when they were having that intimate moment, he said, "You're my weakness" to her. And, there's a true relationship there that I really like. And I don't want to see Grey Worm die, but it could happen. I think, like I said, I think everyone's going to die. Hopefully except for Tyrion. Also, I think you're right about him being towards Jaime. The crossbow Qyburn gave him was the same weapon Tyrion used to kill Tywin. So I think he'll go for Tyrion. I feel like, so I completely see where you're coming from with that, which I completely agree, because it is the same. It is a cross. I don't know if it's the same crossbow. I cannot say that it is. You might know because you might have like studied it out and like looked at it. I'd have to go back and watch that scene again. I think it's from like season 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's from season 4. So I'll probably have to go back and look at that because you might be onto something. But I also kind of took it as like symbolism, as like not only Tyrion killing Tywin, but it was also the weapon that oh my gosh, Joffrey. I don't know why I don't know. My brain's going 100 miles an hour right now. Joffrey, it was his weapon. Like he used that weapon to kill Roz, the prostitute. That was his weapon. So it's kind of a symbolic weapon, I guess, in Game of Thrones lore. Dude, that wasn't a spoiler. The show is still going, huh? Don't worry. Yeah, thank you, Chewbacca. Yeah, again, dude. I think that's Madden King, right? Yeah, Madden King. Chewbacca, she can testify with me that it's. I'm not spoiling anything. Brian Grant, is Jon Snow unburnt like Daenerys, or does he have a different power? I don't know. We've never seen him have. We've never seen him be afflicted by fire. We've never seen him. Um, we've seen him near fire before, but not to the extent of like getting burnt or anything like that. That's a good question, Brian. Really good question, man. That's good. You're onto something. I didn't even think about that. Okay, cool. Grey Worm death is definite, dude. It might be. I think everyone's gonna die. Hey man, thanks for talking about my theories. None of my friends watch the show, so it was nice to talk about it with someone. Good night. Hey, MP Dagger, thanks, man. I'll be on here again next week to talk more Game of Thrones. Maybe I'll even do another live stream during the week. Maybe we can theorize on some stuff that's going to happen for this week. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. Thanks for joining. Brian, that's a good question. I think the entire show, Danny is the only person unburnt. He saved Tyrion way back when, and I can't see him looking at him and murdering him. I could see him killing Cersei, maybe. Who knows? But I can't see him killing Tyrion or Jaime. I agree. I think he has more reason to kill Tyrion, but I don't think he necessarily will. They still have that playful relationship. I don't know if you remember from the season finale of season 7, but they still have that like playful relationship, which is really nice. Jon Snow is both Targaryen and First Men because in the books it says that only people of Targaryen blood can fly dragons. Yeah, and I was watching the inside the episode. Well, I already knew too because I had found that out before. But inside the episode, DB Weiss and David Benioff, the showrunners, they confirmed that. They confirmed that only Targaryens can ride dragons. He has a mix of both. Yep, he's also Stark too. Okay, enough for now. I'm going to bed. Good night, man. But what kind of weapon did Arya ask Gendry to make for her? I can't wait to find out. Yeah, I can't wait to see what it is either. I think it's going to have something to do with, something that she probably said in the past. I'm looking forward to seeing what it is too. I have no idea. I couldn't really make it out what it was based on the sketch. To me, it looked kind of somewhat like a dagger, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Do you think the White Walkers will reach King's Landing? Ooh, good question. You know what? I think they will. I think that could be the series finale, man. I think they will. And I think then Cersei's not going to give a crap who's sitting on the Iron Throne because I think she'll be scared more for her life. But it could change since he is Targaryen. That's good. Yeah. You're on to something. Jon burned his hand in season 1 when defending Lord Commander Mormont from a White Walker. Ooh, you're probably right, man. You're probably right, MP Dagger. I'd have to go back and watch that. Yeah, I don't remember. Hello all, good episode tonight. Hey, that's my buddy Jeff. What's up, Jeff? It's good to see you in the chat, man. Comment below what you thought about the episode and like what you liked about it. I was talking about how I really liked the reveal. Well, Samwell revealing to Jon that he's Targaryen, and that he's the heir to the Iron Throne. I don't know why I can't talk. Like I said, my mind is moving like 1,000 miles an hour right now. Yeah, you're right, MP. Okay, one more. I think the Night King is going to fly to King's Landing on the dragon, and I think Gendry will use the dagger Arya has and find a way to make Valyrian steel again. Okay, that's all. Well, as far as I know, Valyrian steel is like rare, so it's really the steel. I mean, he could find like the steel to make it, but I don't know. If I didn't have work early in the morning, I would chat more. Good night, man. Hey, good night, Jeff. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have to talk about the episode like on Facebook or something. I'm also planning on maybe doing another one of these during the week and talking about like what's going to happen next week. But thanks for tuning in, man. It's good to hear from you. Hey, G, I didn't see the episode. Could you give me a quick breakdown? I don't really want to spoil it for you. Um, Reptilian. Dude, I don't want to spoil it for you. Are you planning on watching the episode? Because I think it's an episode. Like, I think this last season is definitely one that you should definitely watch. Um, yeah. Oh, okay. Chewbacca, you're right. The description for tonight's episode is basically a synopsis of the plot for the entire episode. Yeah. So if you want to check that out, you can look at the synopsis. I really don't. I saw most of it. Oh, Reptilian, man. I don't like spoiling stuff for people. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say watch it for yourself, man. Um dude, it's tough. I mean, if you watch most of it, there's not there's not a lot that really happened in the latter part that's like, I don't know. I don't want to really get into it. I think Cersei will be burned alive by Khaleesi's dragon. You know what? You know that would be a satisfying death, but the best death would be Tyrion walking up to her and, telling her, "Look, you've hated me your entire life. You've always said that I killed. I know I killed our father, but he was a scumbag, terrible person, and he deserved to die. And then you say I killed our mother, which come on, that's ridiculous. That's so stupid. And she's always hated him. She's always hated him. And I would love to see him be able to kill her. However he does it, I would like it to be slow and painful. But if she does get burned alive, I'm not gonna lie, that would be pretty satisfying to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Hodor's favorite cereal, Raisin Bran. Yeah, Hodor, man. Hodor. I miss Hodor. That was such an awesome episode. And I just watched it a few days ago too. I binge watched the entire series before this season, which if you have a chance to after season 8, binge watch the whole series, it's awesome. A lot of things kind of come to your memory. That was such a beautiful scene, and Hodor, he'll always live in my heart. Yeah, you are better off seeing it firsthand. A lot of bitter females, haha. Yeah. R.I.P. Hodor. Yeah, it was an emotional one. Yeah, that's for sure. It was really emotional, but I thought that was the best death that they could give Hodor. That was the best death. And I was watching inside the episode. If you have if you use the subscription service of HBO Now, they have it inside the episode, and so they have the showrunners talk about certain scenes from the episode, and they were saying that Hodor's death, Hodor, his background actually came from George R.R. Martin, the book writer, the author of the books, and it wasn't in the books, but he told them that was the origin of Hodor, and they couldn't believe it. It was one of the most amazing things that they'd ever heard out of everything that Martin had told them about what he was planning. Hodor's background was a big one. It was so vital and so to them it was like the holy grail of information. I got it. Tyrion will say Dracarys and burn Cersei. That would be great. That would be great, man. I want to see Cersei die. But I don't know. I think everyone will die, but I don't know if she will. It seems like in this world, one thing I love about this show, another thing that I love, is you never get what you want. It's one of those shows where it doesn't matter what me and you want. They don't care, and Robb Stark's death was one of those. One of the most brutal deaths in the entire show was Robb Stark, Talisa, their unborn baby. Horrible scene, hard to watch. And so they give you those moments of deaths that you don't want to see. And then they give you those deaths that you do want to see. Joffrey, which was an amazing death, but by far the best death in the entire show was Ramsay Bolton. Totally got what he deserved. His hounds were his life, and he felt very secure and comfortable with his hounds, and he died at the hands of his hounds. I like that a lot. That's what makes it so amazing. It's unpredictable. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. I completely agree with you, Chewbacca. 100% completely agree with you. This show is so amazing to me because it's one of the only shows I've ever watched where it doesn't give you what you want. And they have balls, man. They're not afraid to do stuff in this show. Like, they're not afraid to kill off certain characters. They're not afraid to get brutal. They're not afraid to do a lot of these types of things. And so that's what I love about this show is it's so fresh, and it's really all about the game, and it's about the characters and how they play it. And even like the ruthless people end up on top. Cersei's on the Iron Throne. Who would have wanted that? Nobody. But you know what? She's the most ruthless, and what are you going to do? Any big characters we didn't see in this episode? I'm trying to think. We didn't really see Bran of Tarth and Podrick. I mean, they're not big characters, but I think they're pretty significant. I love Podrick, by the way. We might have seen him. I don't know. I don't think so. Other than that, I think we saw everyone. We saw Jaime at the end there. So, he's in Winterfell. They're planning on doing prequel, and it's all about, dragons and Targaryens. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Soul Hatton. Really am looking forward to that. But let's get done with this show first. I want to see how this ends before we kind of get into the prequel stuff, which I'm looking forward to. Well, we didn't see Gilly, and we saw Jaime in the final 2 minutes or so. Yeah, that's true. I would consider Gilly a major character. She's major in the fact that she's a huge support system for Sam, and Sam cares about her more than anybody else. And I love Gilly. Who doesn't love Gilly? Gilly. She was the first wildling that we could really love, I really liked Ygritte. So I can't say she was the first wildling. I think the wildlings are a lot of fun. One of my favorite characters in the show is the Hound. I love the Hound. I think he's hilarious. He cracks me up so much. But my favorite character is Tyrion. Other than that, I think everyone was included but the Fire Witch lady. Yeah, Melisandre. Yeah, I don't care to ever see her again. I think she served her purpose in the show. I think she'll come back. The whole fanatic about the Lord of Light, I don't know. That's one thing about the show too, is it has a lot of different religious aspects to it. It's got a lot of faith-based things and a lot of faith-based questions, which I think is really crucial. But I don't know. I kind of hope we don't ever see her again, but I think we will. Bran of Tarth. Yeah, Bran of Tarth. Yeah, we didn't see her. Another character I really like a lot, but I think she'll be more kind of crucial probably in the next few episodes, especially with Jaime being at Winterfell. I think we'll definitely see her next week. They are ? I don't know what you're asking, Chewbacca. I don't know. If you could let me know below in the comments, that would be great. A Circus. I don't like Dany. In fact, her ruling is not legit. She has to earn it. I actually agree with you. The thing I don't like about Dany, I like Dany from a perspective of the way she rules, because she is very just. She makes impulsive decisions, yes, but she also makes good decisions at times. And having Tyrion as her hand, because I'm also very biased on Tyrion, if you can't tell from the 40 minutes that I've talked about how much I want Tyrion to survive and how I want him to be on the Iron Throne and how much I love him, one of the smartest moves she made was making him hand of the queen. I'm going to speak unbiasedly, okay? I'm going to speak from the perspective of I don't care about any characters, okay? It's just, this is hypothetical. I do care about a lot of characters, and Tyrion especially. But hypothetically, let's say I don't care about any characters. One of her best moves was to have Tyrion be the hand of the queen. Why? And I'll tell you one big reason. Who knows the Lannisters better than Tyrion? That Dany knows. Nobody. Yes. Okay. Tyrion has made some mistakes. He's undermined Jaime and Cersei at times, especially in season 7, when it came to taking over Castle Rock, when it came to, the Ironborn fleet. But he's the only person who Jaime and Cersei at least trust a little bit. Cersei probably not at all, but Jaime trusts him probably monumentally more now, but just a little bit. to where he opened the door for Dany to actually communicate with Cersei so they could actually get a good look at one another and size each other up. So I think it was a very smart move, and it was one of the best moves she's made. But yes, she is impulsive. I don't like her because I just feel like, again, your point. I'll go back to your point. I kind of rambled on for a couple minutes. Sorry. She needs to earn it, and I feel like she hasn't really earned it. You know, she got sold to Khal Drogo. You know, she was married to Khal Drogo, fell in love with him. Her idiot brother, Viserys, who I hated. I was so happy to see him die. That was a satisfactory death as well. You know, after he died, it was kind of like, oh, now I am the heir to the Iron Throne. And she's not even the heir. It's Jon Snow, but the way she carries herself is what I don't like. She expects people to give her stuff on a silver platter, a lot like Cersei. But I would say this, and I don't like Cersei, but I think Cersei has earned it. She's earned it a little bit more than Daenerys has. Daenerys has a lot of things in her favor. And the fact is, a lot of people hate Cersei, but Cersei's earned where she is. Agreed. No faceless men. No one from I don't think Dorne is going to be in play anymore. I really don't. If you notice, the intro is different. It goes kind of more into like King's Landing, like the throne room and stuff, which I really liked a lot. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that, but like every season, the intro, like the game, like kind of like the game board that they have set up, it changes, which is I think is really cool. To like certain kingdoms that are down or whatever, like Winterfell, when oh my gosh, why am I blanking on people's names, guys? Greyjoy, Theon. When Theon took over Winterfell, like after that episode, the next episode, the intro, like Winterfell was like in smoke and stuff. So I don't think Dorne's in play. And then what was your other part? The Faceless Men. I don't think they're going to be a part of it anymore. I think, we're done with them. I don't think they're ever going to come back. They don't need to come back. They serve their purpose. And, they really serve the purpose of the training for Arya. I hope she doesn't aid Cersei. I was saying they are to the prequel. Oh, yeah. They're doing the prequel. I hope she doesn't aid Cersei. Oh, the Fire Witch. I don't think she will. I mean, she might, but I don't want to see her again, to be honest. I'm kind of fed up with her character. I just think she's really annoying. I've never liked her from the beginning. Jon Snow hooks up with a girl at a party, but he forgot that it was a family reunion. So Alabama starts playing. Honestly, we think of it as weird, and it is weird. It's gross to this day, but we're talking about medieval times, and especially with like the whole legend of the Targaryens. They would make their bloodlines pure, and by doing that, they would marry one another, sibling, and cousin, and make babies with one another. I mean, it's what made the lines pure, and that's another thing that Cersei and Jaime did. They wanted to make their lines pure. And I met Melisandre citing Cersei. Okay. Yep, I got that. Okay, I'm back on iPad. I think the next episode is going to be filler and end with a battle cliffhanger. I mean, you wouldn't be wrong. There is more information that needs to come. There's only 5 episodes left, and there's still I feel like there's a lot more that we need to learn, and to jam that all in 5 episodes, it's going to be hard, but I do think there's going to have to be information. There's going to be moments where it's going to be a lot of dialogue, which I'm okay with. I understand. I wish that they would have spaced out the season longer, but hey, we get movie length episodes this season. Like we get like 3 of them. So I can't complain about that. I think the next 2 episodes will be the Battle of Winterfell. Well, I know there's one episode that's the Battle of Winterfell. I think it's episode 3 or 4 of the, I'm not quite sure. I haven't really checked over the episode listing. But it could probably, it could be the start of the Battle of Winterfell. Also, have you heard the theory of the dragons laying eggs at Winterfell, or the one saying that there are dragon eggs in the crypts where the Starks are buried? I did hear the one about dragon eggs in the crypts. I don't think that's true. Dragons laying eggs at Winterfell. No, I haven't heard that, but I don't know if they never specify I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I don't think they've ever specified if the dragons are just all males or all females, or I have no idea. Well, now there's only 2 because the Night King has the other one, and I'm really bad with the dragons' names. I don't know their names. I forget, but comment below if I'm wrong. If you know that one of them's a male, one of them's a female. Let me know if they're both females, both males. I don't know. They've never specified it. Dragon eggs at the waterfall. Oh, at the waterfall. It's possible. I don't know. It depends on what they did at the waterfall. Weird place for them to fly. Not really. It was a place where, like, Jon said he used to hunt there. And he kind of wanted to show her like a more beautiful side of the North. Because he's in love with her. He wants to, he wants to show her around and, have her get a good feel of what Winterfell's about. For sure. Cause he loves her, and you always want to make your, I'm married. My wife, she's from California. I'm from Pennsylvania. We met up here at college, and, when I go home to Pennsylvania, we're going to go in August. Like, I want to show her the best parts because I want her to think that, where I grew up was cool. It was a beautiful place. So I don't think it was a weird place. I just think it was kind of random. It felt random for sure, but I don't think it was weird. Yes, Cersei earned where she sits. I completely agree. I think she completely earned where she is. I'm not saying she's a good person. I hate Cersei, but you got to give her credit. Like, she earned where she is. And she's been through a lot. Actually, the Red Woman was last seen in Dragonstone just as Jon arrived, not at Winterfell, and she told Varys she will return once more. Yeah, she did tell it. That's right. You're right. She'll probably be back then. Dagger, yeah, I heard that. She's ruthless, but made sacrifice and strategy to rule. In fact, the destruction of the church was one of the best scenes. I agree. That was an awesome scene, actually. And it's sad because I didn't care for Marjorie and Loras that much, but it was pretty shocking. It was a pretty sad scene, especially for Marjorie, knowing she couldn't get out. And I'm so happy that religion, the Seven, I hate those people so much. They got everything that was coming to them. Yes, Cersei has earned it. A character we understand, just like Thanos. I wouldn't say as much as Thanos because I actually like Thanos, and he earned it. I hate Cersei. Because here's the difference between Cersei and Thanos. All right. Thanos, he's a villain. We know that. But what he is doing is actually when he's saying, I don't want people to starve. Okay. I want to obliterate half of the universe to put them out of their misery. I understand where he's coming from. And he's actually he's kind of justified because I'm not saying it was good. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying killing people's good. It's a horrible thing. What I'm saying though is like, he makes sense in the moment. If you take what he's trying to do and what he wants to do, you don't see him so much as a villain. He thinks he's right, and he's very convincing in that way. And he's doing something that, he has felt that has been right. And he doesn't look at himself as a villain. He's justified too. It makes sense where he's coming from. He's going about it the wrong way. Cersei is going about it the wrong way, and she's not justified in the things that she does. She seeks revenge. She kills people, for her own benefit and her own rule. As opposed to Thanos, where he doesn't just randomly kill people. He randomly kills people. He doesn't just go up to somebody and say, hey, I'm killing you out of spite. Like, it's more of a strategic idea, strategic concept that he has for how the universe could be better, as opposed to Cersei, who only cares about herself and her own house. I loved Yara headbutting Theon. Yeah, he deserved it. I mean, Theon is kind of an idiot sometimes. But he's I can't say he's redeemed himself all the way, but he's come a long way. But I feel like a lot of what Theon got in the show was a lot of it he deserved. And he even said that. He said that he's deserved a lot of stuff that he's gotten. Also the one where the Night King might resurrect all the dead in the Winterfell crypts, like maybe a zombie Ned, because in prior season he could bring back skeletons. Yeah, but what's left of Ned? I mean, I'm pretty sure he was probably cremated, because most houses in the show, to honor somebody that they love, they burn their remains, so that way, their remains don't rot. And not only that, but I think it was season 7, if I remember correctly, because I might have just watched this episode today. Littlefinger comes in. Sansa's in the crypt, and she's looking at Ned's statue. And Littlefinger comes up to her and says, "Hey, I carried his bones here." So, I mean, what's really left of him? I mean, I'm guessing they cremated him. If they had any respect for him, and because he was a respected person, they definitely cremated him. Bran gets pushed off a dragon. I don't think he's going to ride a dragon. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I feel like Bran could be one of the first people to actually die, to be honest. It's kind of hard. He's a cripple. He can't walk. He's kind of a liability at this point, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think I'll have a bad ending because after this, they're doing a prequel series explaining all the history. I don't think it's going to have a bad ending. They've had 2 years to do this. So I think that everything has been flushed out. They've put a lot of time into this. They're not just going to make an ending that's like, oh yeah, here's our ending. It's going to be like an ending that makes sense. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to satisfy everyone. You know, the Night King, for all I know, could sit on the Iron Throne. I have no idea. Cersei could still be on the Iron Throne. I'm not going to say it's satisfying, but I think it will be a good ending. And it will, I feel like whoever sits on the Iron Throne at the end, it's going to be justified. It's going to be explained, and it's going to make sense one way or another. Quays, John said that he'd kill the Red Woman if she ever returned. Yeah, he did say that. Did they actually build the entire Winterfell castle? It looks like they did. Like rebuild it? Probably. They probably did. They probably did some renovating. It's been years. I mean, the castle's been through a lot with Theon, coming in and taking over the castle, and then the Boltons, and I mean, it's been through a lot. So they probably renovated it. I mean, it's the Starks. They have money. Bran the Builder built Winterfell thousands of years ago. He's the same dude who built the wall and helped defeat the first White Walker invasion. I mean, Bran he's an interesting character. I'll say that. I'll give that to you. Also, I think there's magic in the walls of Winterfell because the Children of the Forest put magic in the wall, according to Benjen, and it was said that giants and the children helped build Winterfell. Maybe you might be onto something there, Dagger. You might be onto something. So maybe it's a fortress where the Night King's magic can't work. It's possible, but Battle at Winterfell, man, there's going to be something happening at Winterfell. That's the name of one of the episodes coming up, so we'll see. Bran is the Night King, in my opinion. A lot of people think that. I don't think that. I don't think that at all, but hey, you could be right. Bran got attacked by the Night King, though. He didn't get attacked, per se. Well, I mean, the Night King came after them in that cave with the original Three-Eyed Raven, which, by the way, Max von Sydow, amazing acting as the Three-Eyed Raven. I was pretty sad to see him die so quickly, but it made sense story-wise. I know that Bran saw them marching, and the Night King was able to grab his arm, while he was in that state, while he was drifting. So it wasn't really an attack though, but he allowed because of that, the Night King was allowed in that cave. So hopefully Bran will stop. That's all I'll say. Bran needs to stop using it so much. I know he's a Three-Eyed Raven, but like he shouldn't be the Three-Eyed Raven so much, especially for so long. But I think he's kind of starting to, from this episode, from the looks of it, and from like what we've been seeing, he's starting to kind of hone in more control with that. Oh, sorry guys, I've been talking for a while, and it's like I gotta readjust. Reptilian, true. He's marked by the Night King. Remember when the Night King touched him? Yep, that's exactly what I was saying, Dagger. I hope they release all the other endings afterwards. There's multiple endings. Here's how I feel about alternate endings and multiple endings. Brian, I want you to know that I'm not saying this is like, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm happy that you really like that, because I know a lot of people that do like that. I don't care though. For me, an ending is an ending. It doesn't matter if it says this is an alternate ending. Well, it didn't make the final cut. If it's not in the final cut, then I don't consider it to be an actual ending, and it's not canon. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy that you like alternate endings. I'll probably still watch them just to see how different it would have been. But I don't know if there will. I mean, if there's multiple endings, I don't know how different they could really be. This is one show that's like everything has kind of been laid out very perfectly. They have every single episode like marked and sketched, and for a long time before they even release them. If he's the Night King, why is he chasing himself? Yeah, I don't think he's the Night King. Also, the Golden Company that Euron brought from Essos are said to have never fulfilled a contract, so I'm really interested to see how it goes with Cersei and them. That's a good point. I mean, and I don't know. I feel like Euron is a character very similar to Cersei. And he's also a lot like Daenerys in the fact that he's very impulsive, but he always seems to have like some type of plan. Euron's a pretty interesting character. I'm not going to lie. I thought he was kind of a throwaway character when he first was introduced, but he's actually kind of gotten interesting. Because at first, if you guys remember, he wanted Daenerys, and that didn't really work out because his niece and nephew, Theon and Yara, they went to Daenerys, and they were like, "Hey, we need your help. Our uncle is, an evil guy. He's a horrible person." And and he said that he would also want to make you his queen. So yeah, I don't. Sorry, I'm just looking at my phone. I don't know. He's an interesting character. I don't really know what's going to happen. Also, if you look up the Blackfyre rebellions, the Golden Company always tries to overthrow the Targaryens, so I think they'll turn to Cersei in another Blackfyre rebellion. Maybe. I feel like a lot of these armies, though, they're going to go to the side that's winning. And to be honest, the only one that's playing that game right now is Cersei. So technically, she's winning. You could be right. Because Daenerys and Jon, they have other priorities. They're trying to stop the Night King and stop the White Walkers. So Cersei's the only one playing the Game of Thrones right now. I see similarities in Thanos and Iron Man and the Night King and Brandon, all cursed with knowledge. LOL. That's true. I don't know, but the Night King, I don't really know how much knowledge he has. It's never really been said how much knowledge he has, and they don't talk. So I don't really know how much he knows. He's very observant, and it seems like he understands certain things. It just seems like his goal is to drive out the living, and I don't know what he wants. I don't even know if he wants the Iron Throne. Probably not. He just wants to kill everyone. Get a bigger army for something. I don't think the bigger army is for my whole. I guess my theory is I don't think the Night King is that concerned about the living. Because his army is huge, number one. Two, he's not afraid to lose people. He's not attached to anybody. He can just turn people, anybody he kills, he can just turn them on his side. I don't really know what his true purpose is. There might be like some type of greater enemy for the Night King. I have no idea. I mean, it's something that we got to think about. We got to think about that. A thing that was a disappointment in the episode was the treatment of Theon setting free Yara. No difficulty, set her free in 5 minutes. Yeah. I mean, but realistically, though, it makes sense only because at the time, I mean, Euron's not even on the ship. Euron is, he just slept with Cersei. So, he's enjoying himself in King's Landing, I should put it. So, I mean, it makes sense for him to free her so quickly. I think it's interesting because we don't know where they're going to go from here. It's because all of Euron's crew are mutes that they have had their tongues cut out so they couldn't yell for help. That's possibility. I know they're mutes. I don't know if did he say that he cut off all their tongues? Maybe. Did I miss something? Let me know in the comments. Did anybody else hear that? Was it just me that missed it? I'll have to watch it again. Like I said, I'll probably watch it again tomorrow. Night King finds a Night Queen north of the wall, and he calls the war off and settles down. I mean, hey, who knows? He could kill Daenerys and make her his queen. Daenerys she's a good-looking woman. I mean, or Cersei, who knows? But I don't think he's that concerned about a queen. He just seems like he has some type of other purpose. I don't think he's that interested in anything. I don't think he's that interested in like the living. I mean, I don't know why because if he was that interested in the living, what's the point of killing somebody and then bringing them onto your army and like say you conquer the world? What is there left to do? sit on the throne? There's nobody else. Everyone's dead. I don't know. We have to think about these things, guys. I have no idea. I don't, maybe it's, and he doesn't talk, so we don't really know what his true purpose is. It just kind of seems like he's pushing, like moving. He's continually moving for something. Okay. Let me, you guys keep chatting. I'm going to go get a drink real quick. Because I'm really thirsty. I've been talking for like an hour and 5 minutes. I'll probably go until I have to pick my wife up soon. My wife was in Washington all weekend for this like competition thing she did for school. So I'll probably talk for like another 25, 30 minutes. It's going really good, guys. So keep commenting down below. This is great. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post content like movie content, television content all the time. I'll be talking a lot about Game of Thrones. And if you want to keep up with me and see all my thoughts, and I'll be doing probably this. So every Sunday night, I'll probably do this show, either Sunday night or Monday afternoon. It depends. Sometimes it's really hard for me. Like I want to watch every episode Sunday night, but sometimes it can get kind of hard. One, my wife doesn't really like violence. So I don't know how she's going to feel about watching it because she doesn't like violence in shows and stuff. So yeah, but I'm going to go get a drink. Subscribe to my channel down below. I'll be back to talk more with you guys in like a minute. Ooh. All right, guys. That was probably less than a minute, but all right, I'm back. Let's see where did I leave off. LOL, I believe. Also, I like how they brought the fact over from the books, which leads me to think he has a set of Valyrian steel armor. Who? The Night King? MP, let me know who you're talking about. Let me know. Yeah, let me know who you're talking about. I'd love to know. I actually have never read the books, but I probably should. I've heard the books are really big though, so I'm not a huge reader. So we'll see how far it gets with that. And I know that where we are now in the show is way past where the books are because Martin hasn't even written the other two books, or at least published them. So, and who knows if he will. I mean, he's got so much money now, he doesn't really need to. And I feel like the ending of the show is going to be the type of ending that Martin was probably setting out anyway. But I think that's awesome, actually, because we don't know what's going to happen. You can't look at the source material because it hasn't gotten that far. What was with Cersei wanting the elephants so bad? I think her hope is elephants will beat dragons. LOL. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point you make. I feel like her having elephants is maybe a sign of like hope for her people. People despise her in King's Landing. And so maybe like having elephants or something will kind of make them feel a little safer and make them feel more intimidated. I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning is behind that. Good point though, Quays. Thanks for bringing that up. What if Rick Grimes sits in the Iron Throne? If Rick Grimes sits in the Iron Throne, I will quit YouTube and I will shave off my hair and I will drop out of college. That's how sure I am that that's not going to happen. But if it happened, oh my gosh, that would be like the biggest what the heck was that moments. And I think people wouldn't understand. I wouldn't understand. On the ship, he said, I'm on a ship with mutes. And in the books, when he traveled the world, he had the tongues of his crew cut out. Okay. I mean, one thing we have to remember, though, Dagger, is books and movie, film and television, they don't always translate. But that could be it. That could be possible. He said it to Yara. Okay. Did he say it in the show? Oh man. Well, big jump. Cersei is way hotter. She's hot, man. Lena Headey. I'll tell you, the first time I saw Lena Headey was in 300. Beautiful. She's very pretty. But she's a horrible person. If I was given the option, if I was in that world, I was given the option of Cersei and Dany, I would take Dany. I'm intimidated by both, of course, but I feel like Dany's a lot less cutthroat. And Cersei uses people. She uses people. LOL JK. I mean, I think she's gorgeous. So, I mean, he did mention they were mutes. Okay, deaf mutes. Bring me back a beer, bro. Yeah, I'm drinking lemonade. Lemonade for me, guys. Yes, bro. I subscribed. I'm gonna unsubscribe if you don't bring that brew. Dude. That's funny, man. Next time. Okay, guys, it's the moment where we talk trash. Talk trash about me, guys. Did you not like my Spider-Man shirt? I mean, I could be wrong about the show. I who am I? You know, who am I? That was short-lived. Yeah, it was short, guys. My fridge is like right there. I said a minute, but I don't know. You know. Also, when the Umber kids screamed, it made me think of when they went hunting for that white last season, and it screamed and called the rest of them to Jon and the boys. I think Tormund is in trouble. I think Tormund is in trouble too. From the looks of it, from the little sneak peek we got of like next week's episode or like the little clips or whatever, they always have like a little like 15, 20, 30-second trailer of next week's episode. It looks like Tormund meets up with Jon, so that's good for him. But I think everyone's in trouble at this point. Everyone, even Cersei, even Tyrion, which I hate to say, but everyone's in trouble. And I do remember the walker you're talking about. I do remember that. Ned lived longer. Ned lived longer. I don't know what you're talking about, Prithvi. Let me know below. Ned lived longer. It's probably something that we were talking about earlier. I've just been trying to get through all these questions. The armor is Euron's. Oh, okay. I'll have to look back. I don't know. I guess I've never really looked at his armor before. To be honest, I've always been. It's hard to look at Euron and not look at his like weird mustache, like beard thing that he's got going on, which he actually kind of pulls off. I'm not gonna lie, it actually kind of looks pretty good. I couldn't pull it off, but that's the one thing I always notice about Euron, and I feel like I know it's probably the same actor, but it almost kind of looks like the original actor that played Euron back in like season 6, probably. It seems like him and the actor now is maybe different. They look similar. I don't know. He does look different from before, but maybe it's also because he also had longer hair then. And his like mustache beard thing. I don't know what you call that type of facial hair. It's like bigger and it's just more out there. Because I never really noticed that much before. The books are big, but I hate reading and they are amazing. Okay. Martin is a fat old man and he better release the last books. I don't know if he will. I mean, he might not need to. He might just be like, you know what? My story, the way it finishes, is the way that the show finished. I mean, and I wouldn't blame him. He's got a ton of money, and he's older. I think he's like in his 70s, I want to say, or late 60s or early 70s. Also, I think the elephants is an inside joke from the producers saying we didn't have the money in the budget. I mean, maybe. The thing is, I do know this. Every episode is like millions of dollars, which is like the only show ever to do that. So they could have done something, but I feel like I don't know. Maybe we're looking into this elephant thing a little too much. Maybe it doesn't mean anything. Maybe it does mean something. I don't know. Ooh, big jump. The Golden Company commander's armor was so sick. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool. Other than that, I wouldn't see why they'd mention it so much. LOL. Cersei was like, damn, I really wanted elephants. She was probably a little disappointed. I feel like it was more of like, I just wanted the elephants, you know, because she wants to show that she's powerful, that she's rich and all this stuff. And the thing is she's not really rich anymore. The Lannisters are in a lot of debt from borrowing so much from the Iron Bank. Maybe a lot of people were excited for war elephants, but I'm sure the budget was already very high. Yeah, it was super high. I know that. I did enjoy the Umber Kid scene, even though it was only made for shock value to pretend like the show is for adults and not for 12-year-old children. Are you talking about like the jump scare? If you're talking about the jump scare, oh yeah, the show is definitely more garnered towards adults. But 12-year-olds, I watched horror movies when I was like 6. So I had seen a lot of jump scares. Good point about the elephants, MP Dagger. This episode was so cringy that my stomach is still hurting. Really? What do you find cringy about it? Let me know. I didn't feel that way, but I felt like I mean, if that's how you feel though, it's all subjective. By the way, 300 had the best fight scenes to this day, in my opinion. You think GOT will beat it? No, I don't know. Game of Thrones has had some amazing battle sequences. Battle of the Bastards was amazing. That battle was incredible. The battle with the White Walkers last season, I can't remember what the episode was called. It was the one where Daenerys comes in with the dragon, and it was the big episode. It was episode 6. It wasn't, because episode 7 was the dragon and the wolf. I don't remember what episode 6 was, but that had some amazing action sequences. It's hard to tell with a show like this. It is kind of hard because they're working with a lot less on a budget, even though their budget is still pretty high. But I don't know. It could happen. I would love to see it happen, and it's great TV. How is it cringy? Yeah, that's my question. I'll Dagger. I'll check out your video after this, and I'll I'll check out your video after this. You still like Tyrion even after that cringy eunuch joke in the beginning of the episode? Are you talking about like eunuch talking about him? If you are, then of course I do. I mean, he's a dwarf. Everyone knows that. I think he's just kind of tired of all the dwarf jokes. Hold on, let me plug in my charger. My computer's gonna die. I'm gonna like change angles here. No, well, I'll just move up a little bit. I'm on like my couch. This is like not where I usually sit to do videos, but yeah. Sorry guys, I'm like all miscombobulated right now. But if you're talking about like, if you're talking about that, where like Euan says something stupid to him, I mean, you can't really blame Tyrion. Like what? It's not Tyrion's fault. Hold on, guys. You know what? I'm gonna go down here. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Different angle. This is my floor now. Changing it up. 923. Okay. But I love Tyrion because he's the smartest person. He's the smartest guy in probably the entire like Game of Thrones world. I don't care what Sansa says. Yeah, that joke could have been better. I'm trying to think. Tyrion said a joke. I know he said a joke. I know he said something. I don't really. It didn't stand out to me as much. Maybe I'd have to. Like I said, I'm gonna watch the episode again. What if Cersei dies during childbirth? Not a satisfying death. I don't even know if she'll even have time to have her kid. You know, she's not big or anything, so you know her belly's not big, and so I think this season is going to be in the span of like at most like a month in time to the show, not in time to actuality. Yeah, sorry if my lighting is bad. This angle is pretty bad, but I need to charge my computer and my cord doesn't get all the way over where I want it to. The dialogue was throughout the whole episode. I disagree. It was kind of it was dialogue that I expected from Game of Thrones at this point. But hey, it's your opinion, man. That's what you think. Then, you know, that's all right. Let's see. Watch this video when you get the chance and think about the Golden Company now. All right. Yeah, Dagger, I will watch your video. Battle of the Bastards was dope. Yeah, it's my favorite episode of the entire series, which I feel like that's everyone's like go-to. Like, oh yeah, like I've only seen like 3 episodes of Game of Thrones and Battle of the Bastards is the best. But honestly, it's to me, it's the most satisfying. You get these amazing battle sequences. You get to see the plan of Ramsay, which was actually a really good plan. I hate Ramsay, and he got what was coming to him pretty quickly, dying, which was awesome in the way he did. But it was one of those things where you got to see like this really interesting strategy play out, which was a lot like Roman and Greek Empire days, where I'm pretty sure it was like the Romans. This is like truth. Like I read this in history. Like Romans actually did that. And they like, caved in, like they put all of their enemies in a circle and then just kind of like slowly went in and just killed everyone. So that was really smart. But yeah, it's my favorite episode. That and the episode, another episode that's one of my favorites. It could be even up there with Battle of the Bastards. I think Battle of the Bastards still is my favorite though, but it's the one where Tyrion is on trial and he has the best freaking dialogue in the entire show. Best dialogue in the entire show. I didn't kill your son, but I wish I had. Oh, that scene was so amazing. Everything about that. Like I watched that video on YouTube over and over again because I love that scene so much. Do you think the shard from the Ice King's heart will come out in battle and reveal who he is? I don't think so. And even if it did, I don't think we're not even going to know who it is. So, I never thought about that before though. That'd be kind of cool. It'd be cool to see what he looks like, but we wouldn't know who he is though. I don't think, I don't think we'd know who it is, not unless it's somebody from like episode 1, very vaguely that was on the screen. But I don't think so. The dragons stare down at Jon for kissing their mom was funny. Yeah, I like that a lot. That was cool. It was kind of cool because it felt to me that the dragons were kind of like, 1, don't hurt her. We love her. She's our mom. And 2 is also like, we accept you. We accept you. You're okay to us. And especially the dragons have a sensibility because there are a lot. Now, Tyrion said, I can't remember what season this was in, but Tyrion has said before that the dragons are like the smartest, they're one of the smartest creatures on the planet. And the dragons, they might have a sense that Jon is a Targaryen. So, and it would make sense that they would feel that way. And that's why they trust him so much. Because Targaryens have that special connection with dragons. What's Gendry making for Arya? I don't know, man. I have no idea. That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I think it looked like a dagger to me, but we'll see. I think it will definitely play a part in something. Rebel, I will disagree with you on this. Oh, wow. Everything from Lyanna Mormont is so cringy, she needs to die painfully. I disagree. I actually really like Lyanna because it shows, I mean, we've seen kids be like nothing but pansies. Look at Robin Jon Arryn, or Robin Arryn. Gosh, that kid is a pansy. And so I think it's cool to see a character like her who's so young but so bold. And I don't remember her like having that many lines, and I didn't feel like it was cringy. Yo, I just saw the sneak peek for the next episode, and they're gonna out Jaime on trial, and Dany tries to be friends with Sansa. I also think they learned about the Golden Company. Yeah, it looks like Jaime's on trial, and it does look like Dany is gonna at least talk to Sansa. I don't know about being friends with Sansa, but at least try to gain her trust. So I guess the baby that Sam and the girl didn't give to the Night King had no significance. Or I mean, I know he turned the kids donated into his family. I don't think it was like significant in the fact that like I don't think it's significant in the fact how we think it's significant. It's more of just like the idiot that her dad was. I can't even remember what the guy's name was, but he was a scumbag. There's a lot of scumbags in the show. But him giving like the babies, all the boys, one, he did it because he was afraid that they would overthrow him and take his wives away because he was disgusting, using his daughters for his wives. And then number 2, it was also because, the Night King's point of view is just another body for his army. And, the guy didn't care about him. So from 1 to 10, how do you like the episode? Others can reply to 1 to 10. I don't usually rate stuff, but I will say this was a solid 8. It was an 8. Did it give us the action sequences or anything like that we wanted? No. Did it give us the dialogue between characters that we wanted? Yes, a little bit. Finally we get to see Jon react to knowing his true heritage and his true lineage, who he really is, realizing that he's a Targaryen, that he is the heir to the Iron Throne. We also got the dialogue between Daenerys and Sam, with Daenerys telling him about how she burnt alive his father and his brother. So that was really nice. And you got to see, there was a lot of nice emotional moments in this episode. But it was the type of episode. It was the type of episode I'm happy that we got. It was the type of episode we needed, because it's been 2 years since we've seen anything from this show, and I'm happy that they didn't just jump into it and just start killing everybody in a bunch of battles. Like, we need time to kind of like reinvest in these characters and remember where we are with these characters. So I would say it's a solid 8. It's a solid 8. I don't think any episode's really a 10 for me, because it would have to have everything that I want. And that's the thing about the show. It doesn't give you what you want all the time. 5 out of 10. Rebel says 5/10. Cersei will birth a dwarf. Ooh. That would be the biggest slap in the face to her. That would be awesome. But I don't think she's going to give birth. Like I said, I think this whole season, I mean, it's only going to be in the span of like a very short window. So I don't know. Maybe they'll have like some type of sequence. Maybe she'll survive. And then like the last 15 minutes is just like, where are they now? I mean, we'll have to see. But for the hype, 10 out of 10, story 6.5 out of 10. Okay. I can see that, Dagger. I can see that. I can totally see that. I just wanted to see a new. I just want to see a new episode. LMO. I got tired of rewatching clips. I get that. I get that a lot, because this it's been 2 years since we've seen an episode of this show. It's been 2 years. So yeah, 7 out of 10. They should have shown the Night King at least once. I kind of want to agree. I kind of agree with you to an extent, but I also like what we got. In the Night King, to me, again, he's a character who doesn't talk. We don't really know his true motives. There's a lot of mystery behind him, and I like that. I don't really want them to reveal a lot. It's kind of like Jaws. The less you know and the less you see, sometimes is better. 7 out of 10. Oh, wait, I already did that. Oh, gosh. Okay. Rebel, you said it cringed so much. I looked away from the screen several times. Okay, fair enough. When you see the little kid, you pushed out the window. Yeah. I actually like that that's the first thing Jaime sees, because it's kind of foreshadowing that, like, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for him because he's got his position is a really hard one to get back from, to get redemption from, because he's been a horrible person. And I think one of the people, Tyrion loves him, but I think Tyrion is one of those people who could be harsh on him and deserves to. Jaime's done a lot of dumb stuff, and now Jaime's realizing that, I'm done with Cersei. I'm done with her. I'm fed up. I want to fight for the living, but it's going to be really hard to come back from all the crap that he's done, especially to the Stark family. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a really easy sailing. He could be a prisoner for a couple episodes. We'll see. The Night King was supposed to be a Stark. I'm pretty sure he has some history. I don't think the shard will come out because the children use it to make him king. From the looks of it, I think it's a spear that can be unscrewed into a dagger or knife. Interesting. Of course you do. Of course what? I don't know what you're saying. Yes, because Arya was a pansy from season 1 to 4. You are so right. Haven't we seen the Night King? Isn't he the guy the children of the forest stabbed through the heart in that flashback? I don't think that was the Night King, but I could be wrong. I don't know. It was more of just like, here's a random person, but like, this is how the White Walker started. 6.9 out of 10. Ned Stark equals Ice King. You mean the Night King? I don't think so. If that happens, holy crap. But how can the Night King ride the dragon if he's not Targaryen? Ooh, that's a good question. In my opinion, I feel like it's in that situation because the dragon's already dead. It could happen, but you raise a good point. You might have just changed a lot of what I thought. What if the Night King is the Mad King? What if? I don't know. We'll see. Because it's a zombie dragon, not a live one. That's what I think too, Dagger. That's what I think mostly. I think it's because it's already a dead dragon, so there isn't that connection there. Like, it's kind of just commanded to do whatever the Night King wants. The Night King controls it. LOL, I almost forgot. Theon teleporting, that was the worst rescue scene of all time, and you guys question why I cringe. I don't know. I disagree with you. I mean, they have to. Theon couldn't just be traveling for like 3 episodes. I mean, they don't have a lot of time, man. They gotta wrap it up. There's only 6 episodes in the season. Last episode of season 7, Theon was sailing to save Yara. Yeah, he was. Yep, he was. He didn't teleport. He was already on his way. Yep, he was. Of course you do. What are you saying? I have no idea what you're saying, Rebel. But yeah, overall, I felt like this was a really good, really solid episode to bring back. It wasn't perfect. I have to go back and watch the stuff with Tyrion and Varys. I guess it's Varys, right? The eunuch. Must have been a joke or something. I must have missed it because I remember the scenes with Tyrion in it, but I don't remember necessarily the joke. I'll have to go back and watch it and like give you guys my full and honest and open opinion. But I thought it was a pretty solid episode. I'll talk more about it this week. I want to thank you guys so much for chiming in and leaving your guys' thoughts below on the episode. The idiotic choice to make this season 6 episodes will haunt us forever, dude. Man. I mean, it's not going to haunt me forever because it wasn't my choice. I would have loved for more episodes for sure, but it might. Will it haunt HBO or Weiss and Benioff? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they just have other things that are going on. Maybe they realized we can't tell this story in 10 episodes. Like, we need to kind of get it over with. It will haunt me at least. Okay. How come Khaleesi never considered the Golden Company when she was searching for ships back in Essos? I don't know. There's a lot of things Daenerys did and didn't do. I felt like a lot of it was just Daenerys, maybe information-wise. Maybe they were under a different rule. The Golden Company was contracted to somebody else. I mean, who knows? Who knows what could have happened with that? But good question. My first live chat. I love it. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, come back. I'll probably do another one of these on like Wednesday or Thursday to talk about next week's episode and what I plan on seeing. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about this week's episode as well. So again, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date on when that's going to be. I don't know necessarily if it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday. I kind of have to look at my schedule. I didn't even know I was going to do this, but I was just like, I want to talk about Game of Thrones because I love the show so much. But thank you guys so much for chiming in. It's been an awesome stream. Again, I don't only do Game of Thrones stuff, but I do, movie stuff in general. I'll have a Hellboy review up tomorrow, so look forward to that. By the way, I hated Hellboy, hated it. It was horrible. But yeah, anyway, I will hopefully see you guys on the next Game of Thrones live chat. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but it's going to be a fun one for sure. We'll talk probably a lot about theories and who's going to sit on the Iron Throne and all that stuff. So yeah, I will imagine if we see Daario again. I think I'll just say this will be the last one that I'll talk about because I literally have to go pick up my wife. But Daario, I'm pretty sure from what I saw, thanks Quaze. From what I saw, Quaze, before you go, I thought I heard Daenerys talk about Daario being dead. and it seemed like Daario died because we haven't heard from him. And she had mentioned like heroes. She was talking about heroes, and I think it was in season 7, at the end of season 7, when she's talking to Jon Snow, and she's talking about all these heroes. No, it wasn't Jon Snow. It was Tyrion. It was Tyrion. Tyrion sitting down. It was season 7. They're at the place where she was born, and Stannis was there for a long time. They were in the war room, and she was talking about all these heroes to Tyrion, and she said, "Tyrion, you're a good guy," and she goes, "But you're not." She's like, "You're not a hero, and that's what's made you live for so long. You're not a hero, not like the heroes that died." And she mentioned Daario. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll see him again. I mean, maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she found out that he died. Daario to me never felt like a major character. So if he is dead, and it was just in passing that she said that, like to let the audience know that he's dead, then that's fine. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know. I know just as much as you do. So, but yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for joining this stream. It was a lot of fun to talk Game of Thrones with you guys, and hope to see you guys on the next one. And yeah, peace out, guys. Have a good night, and for the throne.